Next up to bat on the morning mix, we have Mopreme Shakur, who is the older brother of Tupac Shakur and also one of the children of the political prisoner, Mutulu Shakur. Mopreme, what's going on with you?
What it do? What it do?
Mo, now that it is the 15th anniversary since the assassination of your brother, Tupac Shakur, what kind of reflections do you have when you think about the fact that there has never been a suspect in the case?
The impact it's had is that Pac is a certified legend. There's always mystery, chaos, confusion surrounding legends and legendary figures. So it doesn't surprise me. It's kind of annoying, but it's the nature of the beast. You know, it's a crooked world, and you're trying to make our way through it. So, you know, it's hard to get to the bottom of things sometimes.
Can you tell the listeners a little bit about the Shakur family legend when it deals with males in the Shakur family?
My father and his brother Norms Lumumba, you know, they were at the core of the beginning of the starting of the Shakur tribe. And from then on, you know, the male Shakurs, most of them have been involved with the revolutionary, nationalistic, black nationalism, positive and progressive movements, such as the Panthers, such as BLA, such as, you know, the many positive organizations around, you know, grassroots organizations around the country. My father is currently incarcerated as a political prisoner, serving 60 years. Various uncles of mine have been ostracized and hunted, connected to the movement, especially on the East Coast, especially in New York. That's why it was so critical, you know, when Pac got in trouble in New York, because we knew that, you know, being Shakur males, we were targets. So, you know, the history is long and you know, self-evident of how we get down.
Mo, can you talk a little bit about who authored the Thug Code and what is the Thug Code?
The Thug Code is a list of rules and regulations. It's a written document for thugs to go by. Thug Code was written by a combination of Pac, myself, and my father. My father was incarcerated. He would call, when Pac and I lived together in L.A., he would call a house. We would discuss it. We would discuss the pros and cons, the outlook, and what types of rules we needed for the thugs in our generation, our people. That's our community. The thugs we considered as our community, people on the street who were tied together by the same economic tribes, you know, because it ultimately boils down to economics and how we survive through those economic trials and tribulations. So, you know, if you're going to be hustling on the street, we have rules and regulations for that.
Can you tell the people a little bit about what thug life means? Many people didn't know that Tupac had a brother, but you were also a member of Thug Life. And when a lot of people talk about Tupac or people that was around Tupac, they talk about thugs. What does thug life mean when Tupac said it?
When Pac said thug life, he meant the hate you gave little infants, F everybody. That's what it stood for. Pac, I had nothing to prove, so I was on doing my own thing. And you're right, a lot of people didn't know that Pac and I were brothers because we had just recently moved. Both of us had just recently moved to the Bay Area, and we were both doing our own thing. You know, I did my song with the Tonys, Feels Good. Pac was grinding with digital, you know. But what we had in common growing up in the ghettos and the hoods of New York, and Pac being in Baltimore and the different ghettos across the country, we had that experience where, you know, a lot of people may not have. So that experience helped create Thug Life. the thugs from coast to coast. Even when we got to L.A., there were still thugs that we were dealing with, people on the street trying to survive, poor people who was, been messed over by the system, which makes it even harder for the youth. That's why he put in there, the hate you gave little infants, F everybody, because the young ones going to feel it the most, where often they're forgot about.
Can you speak to the social and political consciousness of Pac? A lot of times when we see Pac on TV, they show Pac, the quote-unquote gangster rapper, but rarely do they talk to the people who Pac had a major influence on, like myself and other people in these ghettos all around the world, because I've seen Pac murals in El Salvador and in Haiti. But can you talk about what is it that the hood and ghettos and favelas and slums got from Pac in a social as well as political way? Can you speak about his political and social beliefs? What kind of person was he when the lights and cameras was off?
The media will lead you to believe that because one is from the streets or from the ghetto or from poor and impoverished neighborhoods, that they are incapable of caring about others and caring about their community because of the type of lives they lead to survive, which is totally untrue. We as thugs, as people from the street, from the block, from the hood, are put in a category where, are put in a box where it's really difficult to break out economically. And because of that, you have the underground economy in which thugs, people from the street, people from the block, hood dudes, gangbangers, all of us participate in to survive, and try to do as least damage as possible to our own people, to our own families. It's a shaky rope to walk on, but that's the obstacles we given.
Can you talk a little bit about your teacher, or one of you guys' teachers, your father, Mopreme Shakur, the political prisoner? Can you give people a brief history of what the Shakur family was on before Mopreme and Tupac Shakur?
My father, Dr. Mopreme Shakur, got into politics while he was still in high school back on the East Coast. He helped politicians. He had a friend of his that was a politician that he, helped on his campaign way back in the early days, which got him involved in, the social aspects of our country and dealing with our community. And he got more and more into politics, and he ended up going the Panther route. Well, Malcolm route. Malcolm was a teacher of his. He adhered to Malcolm X. So that's the route he chose. And, that route requires a certain amount of discipline, a certain amount of heart, a certain amount of respect, a certain amount of caring for the people to do what he's done. So once he got involved into the Panther movement and everything, he eventually went to China and Canada to study acupuncture. He became an acupuncture doctor and treated patients in leak and detox in New York. A lot of...
What year are we talking about?
This was the early 70s, like 73, 72, 73, 74. He was treating patients in leak and detox for drug addiction. And with acupuncture, which he was one of the first in the country to do so. He don't get credit for it, but he was one of the first to treat, drug-addicted patients with acupuncture, to help the community. He eventually was associated with certain events in New York and the surrounding areas, like the liberation of Assad Shakur. He was eventually incarcerated. Now he's serving 60 years, and he should be getting out soon. So, we're looking forward to that. He's been recently transferred to Victorville, California. All the peeps out there, send him a kite. Dr. Mopreme Shakur, 83205-012.
No doubt, no doubt. Mopreme, can you tell us what's been happening with you? It's been 15 years since the assassination of Tupac, and Thug Life, as well as the Outlaws, the two rap groups that Tupac helped to found as well as was associated with, have been kind of quiet. What have you been up to? I know that you just dropped a recent record. Can you tell the people a little bit about what you guys have been up to this last decade and a half?
Well, me, Mopreme, I spent a few years grieving. It was a big loss, so I wasn't too involved. I did a few things with the late, great Johnny J that he's sitting on, but it was never put out.
And Johnny J is the producer of Tupac. He produced a lot of Tupac's music.
Yeah, he produced a lot of Pac's music, a lot of his hits, along with Shock G and a whole bunch of other producers. But, yeah, Johnny J was our boy, so, we lived close to each other, so I worked with him. But eventually I started coming out the shell. I did a few projects. I toured Brazil in 2005. I was a consultant producer on a documentary about my father, American gangster, Dr. Mopreme Shakur in the Republic of New Africa. I'm currently doing a lot of music supervision on films. One of the films we just did a documentary called A Million Spokes, which is airing now on Documentary Channel. I'm also just completing my album, Alpha Thug. Mopreme Shakur presents Alpha Thug. Go to MopremeShakur.com. There's a few of the singles up, getting ready to get the rest of the album up there. Getting ready to shoot a video for the single, which is Mean Muggin'. Been out here working with Mad Lion, KRS-One, for the next joint. So I got joint from Tretch for my next album, so I'm constantly moving.
That's what's up. Tell them the website, how they can stay in touch with you.
If you want to check out the website, MopremeShakur.com, or at Mopreme Shakur on Twitter. Facebook is Facebook.com/Mopreme Shakur. Holla at your boy. You know what I mean? We may have an upcoming concert in Lagos, Nigeria with the Outlaws. It's like a Shakur family tour type deal. So I'm going to be performing on that, hopefully in November. So, just keeping it positive and progressive, man.
Right on, Mo. Well, thank you for being with us, Mo. And, we definitely support Mopreme Shakur and all the different endeavors of the Shakur family. So we'll talk to you soon, all right?
Yeah, big shout out and much love to all the loved ones in the Bay, all our folks in the Bay. And y'all keep in mind, I hear when people talk about Bay Area artists, a lot of times they forget Pac. He's so associated with L.A., but, the Bay Area was home, though. The town was home. So y'all don't forget the Don, me as well. But, I'm saying we got much love for the Bay. I'm still there once or twice a month.
That's what's up. All right. Thanks, bruh.
No doubt. One.